Bambi's Twisted Tales, Hansel and Gretel, the Gingerbread Massacre. Hansel and Gretel were born into hunger, not the kind where you skip a meal and grumble about it. No, the kind where your belly eats itself. Their father, a broke carpenter, drank more than he built. Their stepmother, a bitter husk of a woman, kept her sharp tongue sharper than her kitchen knife. One night by the fire they heard her whispering to their father, "There's too many mouths. Take 'em to the woods. Let the trees finish what I can't." The father wept into his hands, but cowards don't fight. They fold, and so he agreed. Hansel, clever for his years, caught wind. He snuck bits of bread into his pocket, dropping crumbs along the trail like breadcrumbs would save 'em. But the woods ain't no friend. The birds ate the crumbs before the moon rose. By dawn the children were alone, their father gone, the forest endless. The trees weren't still. They creaked, whispered, leaned in close. Roots shifted underfoot like snakes. Every shadow looked like teeth. Gretel clutched her brother's arm. "Hansel, we're gonna die here." He lied, like older brothers do. "Not if I got something to say about it." After days of staggering, empty bellies gnawing their ribs, they smelled it first, sugar in the air. Then they saw it. A house of gingerbread and candy, walls of honeycomb, windows of sugar glass, shingles of caramel, gumdrops studding the roof like jewels. The chimney puffed cinnamon smoke. Gretel gasped, "It's beautiful." Hansel, delirious with hunger, shoved his fist straight through a candy-paneled wall. He chewed like an animal, tears in his eyes. But the sweetness turned bitter. The caramel had a tang, like blood burned with sugar. The gumdrops tasted of metal. And then the door creaked open. She stood there, bent, toothless, wrapped in rags that smelled of soot. Her eyes glowed faint green like swamp fire. Her smile was too wide, too wet. "Eat, little ones, eat your fill. The house is yours." Her voice was honey poured over broken glass. Hansel and Gretel, half dead with hunger, obeyed. But the deeper they ate, the stranger it got. The gingerbread walls bled syrup, the candy cracked like bone. By nightfall, they were inside the house, and the door slammed shut behind them. The inside reeked of iron and sugar. Pots bubbled over fire. Hooks lined the walls, dripping with flesh that weren't animal. Bones hung like trophies, scrubbed clean, too small to be deer, too human to be anything else. The witch's laugh crackled like firewood. "Little Hansel, you'll fatten in my cage. Little Gretel, you'll learn my trade." Hansel was locked in a cage, iron bars sticky with dried syrup. Bones clinked at his feet. Gretel was handed a knife, the handle greasy from 100 hands before hers. "Chop the meat, girl. Stir the stew. Get used to the smell." At night, Gretel heard whispers seep in from the candy walls, voices of children. "Run, girl. Burn her. Or join us." Each day the witch fed Hansel pies, roasted pork, sweet meats glazed in honey. She pinched his arm to test the fat. But Hansel was sly. He poked a chicken bone through the bars. "Still skinny," he'd mutter. The witch cursed her cataracts, growing impatient. Meanwhile, Gretel's hands blistered from scrubbing pans caked in caramelized gore. She hid her anger behind lowered lashes, but each night she whispered to Hansel, "When the time comes, I'll end her." One morning the witch's patience snapped. "Enough! Fat or not, tonight I eat." She shoved Gretel toward the oven, a giant iron beast, its mouth wide, fire roaring inside. "Check it, girl. See if it's hot enough to roast your brother." Gretel bent close. Heat licked her face. She turned, eyes hard. "It's hot enough for you." She shoved with all her strength. The witch screamed, clawing at the frame, nails snapping, skin peeling. Gretel slammed the iron door shut. Smoke billowed, the air filled with shrieks that curdled into silence. The house trembled, the candy walls split, sugar glass shattered. Red syrup leaked down like blood. Hansel burst his cage with a bone shard. He swung, smashing gumdrop lanterns, tearing sugar drapes. Gretel grabbed a cleaver and hacked through gingerbread beams. The children rampaged, destroying the house room by room. Every swing cracked bone, every slash spilled sugar and blood together. The house collapsed in a storm of smoke and ash. Burnt sugar choked the night air. The gingerbread house was no more. Among the rubble, Gretel found a chest, heavy with coins, jewels, and bones. She dragged it out, her face streaked with soot and syrup. Hansel stood beside her, coughing, eyes hollow. "We ain't kids no more, Gretel." "No," she said, "we ain't." When they returned home, their stepmother sneered. So the little rats lived. That night she vanished. Some say she left in the night. Others say Hansel and Gretel fed her to the same flames. Years later, people whispered of Hansel and Gretel. Some said they became killers themselves, prowling the woods, burning down whatever preyed on children. Others claimed they grew rich off the witch's treasure and ruled the town like lords. But when the wind blew right and the smell of burnt sugar rode the breeze, the people knew, somewhere the gingerbread house still smoldered, and the screams of the witch still echoed in the trees. Moral of the story: don't trust what's sweet. Behind every sugar wall is rot. Behind every smile is a snare. The world don't feed you. It fattens you for slaughter. Only the ruthless survive the oven. And remember, this nightmare comes straight from Bambi's twisted tales. Subscribe, smash that bell, and step into Bambi and the Pizza-verse, where fairy tales ain't sugar-coated, they're soaked in blood and ash.